50th anniversary day here at Folsom Field, as proclaimed by the mayor of Boulder, Suzanne Jones, and the governor of Colorado, John Hickenlooper. Of course, Ralphie's been doing this for 50 years, since 1967, and we just saw Ralphie number 5 run, doing the Stampede thing, all 1,200 pounds of fabulosity. She's been doing this for a decade, and a big part of the pageantry that makes Pac-12 football here in Colorado so special. Fellas?
All right, Cindy, I'm standing here, of course, with a former Buff, a terrific player. This is like our version of Pamplona, right? Running with the Bulls. But tell me how you ran with Ralphie.
I loved running out behind Ralphie.
Ralphie, right?
Yes, behind Ralphie, safely behind Ralphie. You don't know what you're going to miss, you know, when you graduate from a program like CU. Obviously, at 47 years old, my football time on the field has long passed, but I still would love to run out behind Ralphie one more time.
All right, a look at Mike McIntyre, who just had a remarkable turnaround, winning just 2 conference games in 3 years, got Colorado to the Pac-12 championship game last year. And Justin Wilcox has changed a lot at Cal. 4 wins, of course, the terrific non-conference wins over North Carolina and Ole Miss. 1-4 so far in conference play, but that's a lot. What you just saw right there, that 15 seconds tells you a lot about the atmosphere around Cal football this year. I
think there's a lot of excitement justifiably around this program. You talked about the 1-4 in conference, but how about that game last week? Really came down to the last play in overtime. Justin Wilcox, has given this Cal Bears team a chance to win and almost get every game they play.
All right, and you saw the temperature. This is a spectacular day for football. Just a gorgeous fall Saturday with a noon kick. Homecoming Saturday. Cal deferred after winning the toss, so Colorado gets the ball first to begin our game, and the kickoff by the Bears through for the touchback. So after a week's worth of well, I guess mystery is the easiest way to say it, Steven Montez comes back hoping to erase that, which followed the previous week at Corvallis, where he was really rugged for 3 quarters and did put together a solid 4th to get the Buffs a road.
Had those 2 big drives in the 4th quarter to get them to win, but really uneven last week. Sometimes you learn best from the sideline. I think that second half lesson was good for him last week.
All right, quick out to the sideline. So right away, getting the ball for a 12-yard gain. So it's one way to get the ball to Lindsay. That's Philip Lindsay's 18th catch this year.
I talked about it in the open. Lindsay is durable, and with the quarterback play being uneven the last couple of weeks for the Buffaloes, I look for them to lean heavily on Lindsay in this game, catching the ball and running with it.
So first down for the Buffs at their 37. Free run up the middle, and that forced a quick throw and an incompletion. That was Garen Brown that came in unblocked for the Bears. All right, our difference makers, presented by Wendy's.
Left tackle for the Colorado Buffaloes, Jeremy Irwin. Philip Lindsay has a majority of his yards running to the left side behind Irwin. And as far as the defense, Cameron Bynum, highest graded defender for the Cal Bears, according to Pro Football Focus.
Very good Ashik there, and Garen Brown on that inside making the stop. You referenced great backs here. It's another special day. In the first quarter, they're going to honor Rashaan Salam, part of today's homecoming ceremonies at Boulder.
And Rashaan winning the Heisman was kind of the culmination of that era of Colorado football. National championship winning Buckus Awards, guys winning Thorpe Awards. Rashaan's Heisman win really capped that era of great talent and great wins here at Colorado.
So here we go, a 3rd and short. Lindsay trying to get outside left in, picked his way through. And he is run down by a track man, Ashton Davis, the hurdler for Cal and safety, saved a touchdown.
Where did he run that football? To the left side. Again, that's where most of Philip Lindsay's big gains come from. He's got a great way of getting small through the hole. Then once he's in the open field, he's able to kind of open his stride up and hit that turbo button like I do when I play video games.
Well, you saw Garen Brown got out there, and Lindsay made a great cut inside of Brown to take that big play. So now Bo Bisharat comes in to get the carry. 39 yards on the previous run by Lindsay.
Takes one play out, comes right back in the game the next play. Again, durable, and an athlete who's incredibly well conditioned.
So CU trying to take advantage of that explosive run play here. Montez. Oh, there's James Looney that got in for Cal. So the Bears get pressure. Jalen Hawkins, a safety, was coming in, but then James Looney cleaned up for the sack.
We talked to Jordan Kanashik earlier in the week on the conference calls. We asked him what player from Cal's defense doesn't get the kind of pub he deserves. And one of the guys he mentioned was James Looney, a playmaker in that defensive tackle, defensive end spot for the Cal Bears.
And once again, you saw Lindsay doing a good job. He picked up Hawkins, who rushed in off the left edge, but that left a clean lane for Looney. So now CU pushed back for a deep third down. And Montez to the end zone for a touchdown. And that will resonate 22 yards to Devin Ross. He's been quiet the last few weeks, but gets the first touchdown today.
Ross is going to run up to the level of the end zone, come across the field. You see some miscommunication in the secondary for the Cal Bears when you got a freshman in Bynum, 2 sophomore safeties, and only 1 senior playing cornerback. Those communication errors, those assignment breakdown errors are going to happen. That's what happened that time, got Devin Ross open for the touchdown.
And that was well done by Montez because he could feel he was going to get popped from behind, but he stood in, delivered the ball. And you see it, there's the hit, but Montez on the money to Ross. CU 7-0. Devin Ross's second touchdown of the year, capping off the Buick scoring drive. Ross did not catch a pass back-to-back weeks. Arizona, Oregon State had 4 last week for short yardage against Washington State. So that, for a guy that is pretty accomplished here, has to feel real good.
Well, you and I were talking before the game, where's Devin Ross been? And it was as if he was listening to us and said, well, here I am right here. I'm catching touchdowns for the Buffs. That's where I am.
Now 3 experienced receivers. That was the linchpin with Lindsay. You thought of Colorado's offense for this year as this touchback. So let's get more on the CU offense. And so California now comes out for its first possession. No quarterback mystery for the Bears. It has been Ross Bowers' year. And it was a little bit of a two-half tale last week. Cal's offense didn't do much in the first half, but Bowers and the offense very strong in the second half of the overtimes.
It's kind of a microcosm of the Cal season where Bowers plays well, but then there's 4 games of 2+ interceptions. So some good, some bad. Has to find a way to be more consistent and clean with the football.
Bowers gives it on first down here to Laird, and the Colorado defense jams the middle.
Kind of Noah for the Cal Bears. Long reception, 75 yards this year for a touchdown. Plays that slot receiver, really good on the slant and the hot reads for Bowers at quarterback. And then Drew Lewis for the Buffaloes, maybe their most athletic defender, with apologies to Isaiah Oliver. But this is a guy who leads the nation in pressures from the inside linebacker position.
Now he's going to run it again. Boy, that handoff, you could see Laird grabbing and clutching several times to make sure he held that ball, and did a terrific job of running that out just short of a first down.
Laird 130 yards last week, 5 catches out of the backfield. He's a guy, while he certainly is capable of running inside, he has the wheels to beat you outside the tackle box. So look for him to get some kind of tosses and things like that, try to use his speed and stretch the edges of that CU defense.
All right, so here we go. Cal is only 48% this year in these situations, third down, 2 or less. This is only about a foot. McMorris in to lead the way, but they do the flip 90. And look at Laird outside. Dialing up that old play, flip it outside, where let Laird go, and that's what Laird can do. He stuns you because he can run it outside like this.
We talked about Laird's speed, but number 96, Terran Hasselback, the left outside linebacker for the Buffaloes, bites in on that initial run fake, doesn't keep his body in position to defend that flip play. Easy pickup for the first down by Laird.
All right, Cal with a new set of downs. And Wary stays in as the back. And Bowers pulled it back. And on the option, he hits Warner. That'll be another first down inside the 30.
You know, Bowers had some struggles throwing the football this year, particularly with the turnovers. But with the 2 young DBs And we see Bowers here hanging in the pocket, waiting for his guy to reveal, gets a shot. But with the two young DBs starting for the Colorado Buffaloes, I expect them to try to go down the field maybe a little bit more than they have in the past.
There's the big back end where he got outside left. And takes it down inside the 15.
Well, I talked about him being a monster and a mauler. That time he shows sweet feet, play designed to go inside, cuts it back to the left. The play is clearly supposed to go inside, sees an opening to the left, and after that, he hits his own personal turbo button, gets outside, picks up the first down.
Cal getting some chunk plays here. First down run by Nweri. McMorris can, yes he can, I was going to say, that's a challenge, and it's well done by Evan Worthington, the junior safety, to drop Malik McMorris.
We talked to both coaches about McMorris. The Cal coaches praised him as his ability as a blocker, but really expanding his role, running the ball a little bit, catching passes out of the backfield or at that tight end spot. Then the CU coaches said, if you want to find out where Golden Bears are going with the football, follow that big guy, because the ball's typically coming behind him.
I had a chance to talk to him last week in Berkeley, Malik McMorris. He loves running routes. He practices the sideline toe tap all the time. And Wharton's going to throw for a touchdown. So Vic Wharton back in the game. And Cal, an offensive coordinator, Bo Baldwin, dials up another different play. It is Wharton to Noah.
I'm not exactly sure which safety, was it Worthington or Laguda, who gets his eyes in the backfield. I'm looking at from this view here, I think it's Worthington, gets his eyes in the backfield, sees that run action, loses track of Noah getting behind him in the end zone. A mistake with the eyes by the CU defenders.
All right, Matt Anderson out to add the point for Cal. And so here's an interesting play by the Bears. A diverse offense, and it pays off. Love seeing lefties throw touchdown passes. Love it. Now, Justin Wilcox, in his first year as a head coach, hired two very experienced coordinators. Watch this play. Look at the exchange right there. Chad, that's a handoff. That's what makes this play happen.
A lot of teams like to flip that forward because of the difficulty of that fly sweep handoff. They're able to execute it, and then Wharton has the lefty arm strength and accuracy to throw the touchdown pass.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That play's become a toss forward because if it's muffed, it's a forward pass. It's incomplete. But that was a handoff. It's a straight handoff, which is why Wharton could throw a forward pass. Right, here we come with Montez in Colorado. Third possession for CU. Oh, and Lindsay was tracked in the backfield, so Montez didn't pull the ball back, and Alex Funches for Cal was all over Lindsay. That's a loss of 4.
We talked about the keys to the game with the Colorado offensive staff. They talked about winning on first down. By no definition was that last snap winning on first down.
Funches got in again. Well, Isaac Miller starting at right tackle just missed there. Alex Funches of Cal went right around him, and Colorado's going backwards.
That was a design quarterback run the entire way, but Funches just does a great job of getting inside. Instead of going around, he came inside that tackle guard center gap, able to penetrate, get Montez down for the loss.
Well, that's big. And Cameron Sapple out for Cal, not playing this year, and Funches coming in, makes 2 tackles for losses in a row. And now Montez delivers, and Bobo made a man miss to get a first down. Well, that's big by Bryce Bobo. Josh Drayton for Cal had him zeroed in, but Bobo eluded the tackle.
Bobo, the biggest of the 3 receivers for Colorado at 6'2", 205, kind of runs that in route. Montez stares him down the entire time, but he makes the catch, eludes the tackle, and picks up the first down.
All right, so Montez to Lindsay, and that's a short gain there, so not even getting the penalty yardage back.
Substitutions for both teams. Chris Bounds comes to the game. The backup tight end for the Buffaloes. He's a guy who's been playing a bigger and bigger role as the season's gone along. Catches the ball well, blocks well at that fullback / tight end position.
And Montez holding it, taking a deep shot. Chenault off the hair. Laviska Chenault with the catch. The freshman makes his biggest play of the year, and Colorado has first and goal.
This may be Montez's best delivered football of the last 3 or 4 weeks. Chenault just running downfield, running towards the goalpost, gets behind the Bears defenders. They had no answer for the speed of Chenault. They saw the ball coming, just couldn't catch up to him.
Just the 5th catch of the year for freshman Chenault. 58 yards, first and goal. Lindsay. No, Montez, touchdown, Colorado.
This is what you want from your quarterback. Makes a mistake on the read earlier in the drive. This time makes the correct read, sees that defensive end go down with Philip Lindsay, opens up a lane for Steven Montez to get himself into the end zone. 6 points for the Buffs.
It's a lot of slaps there for Montez. You can see how that first quarter explosion has happened, and the big pass play there to Chenault. Well, actually, you go back, it was the 3rd and long. Bryce Bobo with the yards after catch that kept that drive alive. And there's a nice decision by Montez to run for the touchdown. Puts Colorado back in front. All right, Pac-12 football presented by Red Robin today. So Montez getting challenged this week, and he's answered in the first quarter. Colorado with 2 touchdowns. And Colorado getting the explosive plays as opposed to the long engineered drives. We go back down to the sideline and check in with Cindy Brunson.
Thanks so much. We've had Colorado a few times already this season, but this is the first time from field level, fellas, that I've seen the Steven Montez that we saw at Oregon last year. There's confidence, there's moxie, there's swagger, and it's infectious on this offensive side of the Colorado field.
Well, that's it, Cindy, and that's the game, of course, that elevated Montez when he stepped in for injured Sefo Lufau, and that's signature win for Colorado season last year. Bowers comes right back and drills one. It's going to be a first down gain to Brandon Singleton.
Good job by Singleton getting his body in front of Trey Udofia to shield him off and be able to catch that football. But another well-delivered ball by Bowers.
Well, nowhere to go there. Cal gave him a pocket. He eventually tried to step up, and George Frazier got him.
Yeah, George Frazier plays fullback, plays tight end, plays defensive end, plays special teams. So 182 plays on offense, 90 plays on defense coming into this game, 60 plays on special teams. This time gets the sack. And showing up late on that was Drew Lewis kind of knifing his way through the middle. Bowers had no place to run and step up into the pocket due to Drew Lewis's pressure rush coming on.
So Cal has to dig out of the minus here. 2nd and 15. And from the empty backfield set, quick slant caught by VC of Cal. But a good tackle, Udofia, right there. So nothing after the catch, and Cal will have a long 3rd.
After that touchdown by Cal on the last drive, Evan Worthington, number 6, is out. Now we see safety, number 7, Nick Fisher, back playing that safety role.
And so the first quarter will end on this incompletion. And the first 15, Lindsay and the Colorado offense with big plays. 14-7 Buffs. A great in Colorado football during a glory era. Rashaan Salaam, Heisman Trophy winner, 2,000-yard rushing season.
One of the best to ever do it at Colorado. Number now being retired, goes into the Ring of Fame here at Folsom Field. Special moment for those family and friends that are down on the field to celebrate with him. I had a chance to be Rashaan's teammate for 1 year. We crossed over here at the University of Colorado. Infectious smile, great guy. Just a very sad end at his life.
The late Rashaan Salam, his family here. Those are many, many former teammates of Salam's wearing the shirts with his number. And this ceremony taking place here during the quarter break. And as you just saw, the fourth number to be in the Ring of Honor. Michael Adkins is wearing it this year for Colorado. He will be the last to wear that number. Byron Whizzer White, Joe Romig, and Bobby Anderson, the other three. All right, second quarter now to begin with a Cal punt. Ronnie Blackman is the return man for Colorado. Ooh, Klumpf running away, running a long time before he hit that ball. And then Blackman is hit. And that tough situation for a punt return man. You rarely ever get anything by going sideways or backwards. So good flip of field position when Colorado comes back. All right, Pac-12 football presented by Red Robin, 14-7 for Colorado. We were just watching this punt, and Chad, you pointed out something interesting. Dylan Klumpf running a long way. When does he lose protection?
Once you leave the tackle box, you lose protection as a punter. I think Ryan Moeller could have tackled him instead of trying to go for the block.
Flags down. And Montez has a man open. Well, that's been great for Colorado. It's breaking Cal's back here. These receivers, Devin Ross there, very open on third down for 22.
Montez has stared down a couple of guys early in the ball game. This time he scans the field, goes through his progressions, finds an open Devin Ross, delivers a very accurate football. Ross sends it a hole in that zone, kind of turns around, gets his numbers to Montez right at the first down sticks. Great throw, great catch, first down pickup.
And now Colorado has some breathing room and let Lindsay try the right. And he got out to the edge, got around it, runs it out for a gain of 7.
Tight end 43, Chris Bounds, had the key block to getting Lindsay outside, pick up the big gain.
Cal's big 330-pound Chris Palmer in now as the nose, playing right over center Linnott. Colorado able to run it and get a first down.
Another good block by Chris Bounds on that last play. Comes across the formation on a kick-out block on Funches. Gets Funches kicked out a little bit, gives a little bit of a lane for Lindsay to squirt through and pick up that first down.
63 yards on 10 carries now for Lindsay. This one out of a different formation. Deep shot for Fields. Montez there. 6 more for Colorado. Well, Colorado 30 seconds ago backed up to their 1-yard line. They get out of it again with a long third down throw, and then this 65-yarder to Shea Fields.
When we talked to the Colorado coach, they talked about how much the Cal defense had improved, and he thought, Coach McIntyre thought their corners and safeties were really the best part of their defense. So far, they've been attacking those guys with these 3 receivers who have really had a kind of underwhelming season, considering they came into this year ranked as the 7th best receiving corps in all of college football.
Well, it has been a hallmark of Cal season so far. They've limited explosive plays against them. Colorado has piled them up in the first half. And it's Shea Fields' turn with a big home run. The defensive guy, Justin Wilcox. That's what happens when your defense has already given up 5 explosive plays so far to Colorado.
You can live with somebody pounding the ball against you, but you cannot, as a defensive coordinator, live with explosive plays, getting the other team off the goal line, big third down conversions off explosive plays, and then touchdowns off explosive plays as well.
All right, this one going to be Ashton Davis. He loves to come out with those kicks when he can. Trying to use that speed. And the hurdling. Well, the hurdler did it beautifully, but 2 flags, 3 flags fly in, and all of that made negate. And where he gets tackled there after a short game. Saw a wonderful tape. Mike Pereira, the excellent former NFL official, does tapes every week to help officials, and he did one this past week on college games, and he talked about offensive players hurdling into defenders. And Syracuse has a quarterback that's doing it very flagrantly, like throwing a knee into defenders. And Mike wondered if the competition committee might not address that, the rules committee at the end of the season for the NCAA. We're talking about player safety.
A couple of seasons ago, Antonio Brown of the Pittsburgh Steelers ends up chest kicking the punter, I believe it was from the Cleveland Browns, in a similar type of situation. And I've wondered the same thoughts.
Yeah.
At what point does the rules committee try to address that?
All right, after that's run by Wary, Malik McMorris, a little bit slow to get up. You see, going to come across. Don't judge just by the vision. Malik McMorris, pretty athletic guy.
Oh, he's a nifty athlete. Catches the ball well, runs the ball well. But again, mainly his main input for the Golden Bears offense is being that primary point of attack blocker. And when he's on the field, it's like having an extra offensive lineman out there for you.
All right, well, Cal has had its defensive back broken in this first half by Colorado's third down conversions. Now can Cal kick one here on third down? They need 5. Hit. And that's actually a ruled a forward pass and a ball that is going to be called a catch, I believe, by Laird.
Great rush by Derek McCartney coming off the far edge of the screen. And he chops at that arm of Bowers. Unable to cause a fumble, but shortens that pass up. Nice job by Derek McCartney. Remember, on the earlier drive, he was one who lost, contained, and allowed Bowers out of the pocket to pick up the first down. This time goes around the edge. Great rush, chopping at that football.
I believe the eventual ruling on that was an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball is spotted at the 29. Same way, and it is a punt. This time Plump just hits it straight, doesn't run. Blackman does run. Blackman still running. Good return. Out near midfield. And this first half reaching a pretty critical juncture. Colorado has things going its way. Can Cal slow it? All right, Pac-12 standings presented by KFC. Stanford survived, barely. Thursday night.
Absolutely barely.
Barely. So you still have 3 teams with 1 loss in the north, 3 teams with 1 in the south, although that changes tonight. Arizona State USC, the biggest game of this Pac-12 Saturday. Going to go a long way towards deciding, or at least absolutely determine the front runner in the south as Montez back on first down here to Jay McIntyre. Montez already over 200 pass yards in the first half. And look at that right-hand column. Third down was everything was a nightmare last week for CU. 5, and a couple of them today just back-breaking long third downs. And right there, Chad, now that play, same as the touchdown. The game last year was his breakout game at Oregon. He was excellent, Montez, at that option.
In that Oregon game, I think he threw for over 300, ran for over 100, Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Week.
All right, Ross. And look at Montez throwing a block. And Ross finally popped to the turf, but not until he gets inside the 15. 11 yards on that run, and Montez, who's a big boy now, he's 6'5", 225, and he's willing to block a little bit.
You see Ross coming around on that kind of reverse motion there. Nice block by Montez, picks up a block down the field right here by Shea Fields. Shea Fields does a good job not getting penalized with the targeting, not hitting him with his helmet there on that block to pick up the first down.
Lindsay in the middle. Backed up and gets 4. Quarterbacks are big guys now, more often than not now. So what do you think? Do you think the coach is okay with him? He didn't throw a vicious block there, Montez, but he got in the defender's way just enough.
As long as you don't do it with your throwing shoulder, I think most coaches are going to be okay with that. What we do have a problem with as coaches is when you stick that throwing shoulder in there. Yeah. That's too precious. We need that the next snap.
Pressure off the edge by Cal. Montez throws over it and over the head of Ross. It was Deron Brown, safety, that came in on the extra rush off the right edge for the Cal defense. So now third down. So third down has been magic, and it's been long shots. Colorado in this first half already with pass plays of 65 and 58 yards.
They've got enough space here to try to pick up the first down or go deeper into the end zone.
Now not guarding, really covering McIntyre. Look at the gap of him in the slot. Oh, and that one misfired right into the pocket of Elijah Hicks. And he's frustrated.
Those last two balls by Montez, the one before this was not a well-delivered ball in the end zone to Ross, and that time just a miscommunication between his receivers. Not really sure where each guy is supposed to be. Not sure where that ball was supposed to be thrown, but clearly not on the same page.
So Stefano will try a 29-yarder. Was the first red zone hold for Cal. He's keeping a touchdown off the board. But it is 3 more tacked on by the Buffs kicker. Well, it's been a terrific half. 311 yards for Colorado, 24 points. A little Halloween flavor. Weekend before. On the Boulder campus. I have never been in Boulder. I've never been on Pearl Street for Halloween night. That has to be fun.
Well, they stopped the infamous ball crawl a few years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yes, on Halloween night, students would pack Pearl Street Mall area. And let's just say some things that were illegal in several states happened. And eventually the city authorities put the stop to that.
All right, little short kick. Live ball. And finally handled by Cal and run out just across the 20-yard line. That's good. Bowers tries to throw one out to his rapidly coming on freshman tight end Gavin Reinwald.
That was another snap where left defensive end, left outside linebacker for the Buffaloes, Terran Hasselbeck, had his eyes in the backfield, didn't see that back releasing outside of him. He was the one who was victimized earlier on the flip play. Has to work on his eyes and know where to look and where his keys for the play are coming from.
And big difference from a week ago. Right now, Cal only has 53 pass yards, and 15 of those were the touchdown pass thrown by Vic Wharton. As Laird runs it inside, and it was gobbled up.
To pick up on your last point about the Washington liking older players, that was one of the reasons for the success they had last year. So many fourth-year juniors, fifth-year seniors on that team. Talking to McIntyre yesterday, he said all the new guys, the few that we have, they can no longer be new. It's
That's
week
right.
9. You can't be a new guy anymore. You got to be ready to play and know what's happening out there.
All right, Drew Lewis running middle. Bowers gets it away. Nice catch. That's the connection that has developed, and it seems the one that Cal thrives. The go-to receivers become Kanawai Noah out of the slot.
Noah's tricky out of the slot. A little bigger than most slot guys. We'll see him come up, puts a little move on Nick Fisher, gets inside, gets that separation, but then the athletic ability to go up and make a great catch.
Matt here's Nwere, and that's well done by Drew Lewis on the Colorado tackle.
Well, that time Drew Lewis knew to get low with Morris coming to block him, gets off the block and makes the tackle. Ryan Muller did not get low enough to deal with McMorris on that last snap.
All right, so Cal trying to keep its offense going, keep its defense off. Bears have needed 11 plays just to get to midfield. Five rush this time and an incompletion. Kind of I know the intended. I look at Fisher and I look at the Colorado secondary, Chad, and I think back to the first game we did this year when they played CSU, and the big question was you had 3 starters losing out of that secondary. All of them were drafted in the first 4 rounds. How are you going to fare replacing them?
It's been uneven results. Isaiah Oliver, great player, fantastic athlete. Even he's been a little uneven back there. Sometimes it's tough to play when you have so many inexperienced guys back there with you.
5 rush and a good throw and catch there. That's a nice Cal conversion to Vesey. Colorado brought 5 on the rush there, but Bowers delivers for a first down.
Dante Wigley was there, but a well-delivered ball by Bowers, even better catch by Veazey.
So first down at the 23 now. Cal at the Colorado 23. Laird flexes out wide to the left. And the middle rush going to get Bowers. Drew Lewis.
Another one of those creeper rushes by the Buffalo's defense. It looks like they're bringing just 4 guys, so not a true blitz. But Drew Lewis is a dynamic athlete coming through the middle of the defense. And once he gets his eyes set on that quarterback, he's athletic enough to not miss. Gets Bowers down for the big sack.
Yep. Loss of 11 on the play. Second Colorado sack. Laird gets a swing here. And Laird going to be pushed to the sidelines and then eventually sprung out of bounds by Afolabi Laguda.
One of the best football names in the Pac-12.
Yes.
Yeah, here in Colorado, the sidelines between where the sideline on the field ends and where the stands begin is really tight. I've seen a number of players in my years as a Buffalo being knocked into that sideline barrier. We saw Larry had to hop up on the equipment trolleys.
And so again, a long third for Cal. And Bowers stays in, going for Noah. And does Noah catch that? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Cal. Conavai Noah somehow caught that. And Cal, after grinding its way down the field, gets an explosive play. 27-yard touchdown.
This may be the best play for Cal all game long. The Buffs bring pressure. They block up the pressure well. Bowers steps up into the pocket. Then Noah makes a circus grab then in the right corner of the end zone. Evan Worthington has great coverage, has his hand and arm in between Noah's arms, but Noah still finds a way to come down with that football.
Boy, that's a terrific reception. And a much-needed score for Cal. Matt Anderson adds the point. Well, that was, literally a grinding drive. That was 16 plays of inching your way down the field. And on the 17th, Cal gets the touchdown, 24-14. He finally retired, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I think last week.
Yeah, Blackman, there's a lane for him. Ooh, man, that looked like that had a shot to go much deeper down the field. All right, Colorado with 41 seconds. Still 2 timeouts. Looney, Montez, good job stepping around him. And he's going to get a first down. So that'll stop the clock. And now Colorado is advancing towards scoring position as Montez to the Cal 44.
Montez really worked his body in the offseason, lost some of that freshman baby fat. Much stronger, much more physical, much more agile player than he was last year.
Ooh, and that one dropped by Lindsay. That saves Colorado a timeout. He would have been tackled inbounds. So now it's 20 seconds, 2 timeouts. You'd love to save one to make sure you get your kick team out, but now you have to be in range.
Long for Stefano's 49 this season.
All right, 3 to the bottom for Montez. Gonna have to do something with the ball here. Well, he's got a man open in the flat. And Shea Fields runs it for a first down. And now Colorado is in field goal range. Shea Fields got himself wide open after a long dance by Montez.
Great protection by the Colorado offensive line. Montez being patient in the pocket, then Shea Fields having the awareness of where the sticks were and also got himself out of bounds. Very heady, smart play by a senior receiver.
Now Colorado can use the fielder. They have timeouts. In theory, could run 2 plays here. First one will be a slant to Fields. Tackled there. Immediately Mike McIntyre running down to stop the clock. Now Colorado has to be careful. This is where the ask of college teams sometimes can be tough. 6 seconds. Are you secure enough you can run a play and get a timeout?
I think you don't get too cute here.
Unless Chad, would you want, and this depends on your kicker, would you run the ball to the center for your kicker? Stefano will try to kick his second of the first half. And he puts it through, and the half comes to an end. Colorado shut out last week. This week, first half, 361 yards, 24 points.
That's how you bounce back. Bad things are going to happen into college football. The test of your team is how they respond to those kind of moments. So far, Colorado's responded very, very well.
Yep. So the report card in the first half for the Buffs, a very good one. Cal will get the kick to start the second half. All right, let's hear from the coach now with Cindy.
All right, an offensive drive to end the half. You're up by a couple of scores. What was working so well for you? A handful of explosive plays in that first half.
Well, Stephen was making good reads and hitting them. And, our line was doing a good job of holding them up. They had some overload blitzes that Stephen did a good job of seeing. We shouldn't have gave up the touchdown there at the end. I wish we would make them kick a field goal. But responding like we did helped us have some momentum going into half.
What's going to be your message to the team at the half?
Keep playing. Keep playing is all you got. They can make plays. They got some good receivers, and Ross can make some good throws, as you saw.
All right, you're up 13. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Well, the first half was, and as Mike McIntyre said, keep playing. Steven Montez, 11 of 16 for 242 and 2 touchdowns. After the break, we'll have the State Farm halftime report with Ashley Adamson and team. Yep, no, not my 50th. Although they missed it just last week. But one of the most iconic college football symbols, mascots. Ralphie, 50 years. Congrats, Ralphie.
That's Ralphie 5. That Ralphie's not 50 years old.
I know.
Just for information's sake. But yeah, she can move. 1,200 pounds of,
that's awesome, of
power and beast running around this Folsom field.
It's a magnificent thing to see. See where Colorado puts the kick, of course, in altitude. You expect a lot of kicks to be touchbacks. This one won't be. Ashton Davis, who actually is going to take a knee. All right, let's find out what Justin Wilcox thought coming out of the locker room. Cindy?
Well, first, guys, I asked him about the big offensive plays that Colorado was able to put together, the handful of them, and he said, point blank, we just have to win one-on-one battles and make better plays. Offensively, he loved his team's last drive of the half, loved the execution, wants to see more of that. I asked him about the altitude. There were a lot of hands on hips defensively the last 2 Colorado offensive series. He said, no, the altitude is not a problem for us. We'll continue to rotate guys through.
All right, quick slant to start the half. Thank you, Cindy, and that's caught by Noah. 4th catch for Noah, 2 touchdowns in the first half. That's a first down gain right out of the chute for Cal.
Well, if Cal can have more drive like they had to finish the first half, a 16-play drive like that, then that defense gets a chance to rest. They have some depth issues at the D-line. That's the unit that typically needs the most fresh guys. So again, if they can grind out more drives, it'll help that defense quite a bit.
Well, Patrick Laird has not broken free yet, and that was a terrific example. That play right there, he actually got a yard out of that. See how hard he had to work to get 1 yard there?
He kept hunting and peeking and trying to figure out where to go and fall forward. That time ends up falling forward for a yard, but a very tough, well-earned yard.
It's 9 carries now for Laird today for 40 yards. He had a huge second half in Berkeley last Saturday. Bowers pulls the ball back. There's the slant. This time it's Wharton on the catch and another Cal first down. So it'll be 3 catches for Wharton, and Cal has a first down at midfield.
Buffs run a very similar play where they bring the back out of the backfield, forcing that corner either to choose the swing route to the back out of the backfield or the slant route from the receiver. That time Trey Udofia chose right, stayed with his receiver, but unable to break up that pass.
McCartney in Bowers' face, forcing that incompletion. Derek McCartney playing the quarterback on that read.
Derek McCartney doesn't fall for the play fake, gets his hands up knocks that ball down. As a pass rusher, you're taught to do that. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up at least to obstruct his vision and hopefully bat a pass down, as McCartney did on that last snap.
And Laird this time can't get away, and that's Jason Frankie that got in the backfield and disrupts that play for a loss of 5.
Frankie, perhaps the most valuable backup on the defensive front for the Buffs, sneaks inside from his right defensive end spot, gets inside the right guard, able to get Laird down. Frankie backs up at nose guard, left defensive end, right defensive end, can play all 3 spots very well. A huge part of that depth for the front defensively for the Buffaloes.
So Cal needs 15 here. They got Wharton alone to the bottom, running across, but the pass is going to be short, going to the left.
Freshman Jacob Callier ends up knocking Bowers down at the end of that pass attempt. Both coaches really high on Callier, trying to use him mostly in pass rush situations. Hasn't really picked up the nuances of defense as an outside linebacker as far as drops and depth and switching between zone and man. They like to take advantage of his athleticism and get him after the quarterback on third down situations.
Yeah, another new, different face in Colorado, and that playing as a freshman, not starting obviously, but getting those spots. As Klump's punt goes in to the end zone on a fly. Frustration there. Well, on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Boulder, college football amidst the Flatirons. How about that? Colorado up by 13. Pac-12 football presented by Red Robin. Just a glorious Saturday afternoon in Boulder. Colorado with the lead. They punted on their first possession since. Look what they've done.
Yeah, 39 plays, 336 yards, but really it's explosion plays. 65 yards by Shea Fields, 58-yard reception by Chenault, 39-yard run by Philip Lindsay. That's really what's been powering this offense. That's only averaged 22 points over the last 5 games, seemingly getting on track here against the Golden Bears.
And now the direct snap does go to Lindsay. That's the play you were referencing earlier, Chad. That was a straight snap to him, and Lindsay gets 8, almost 9.
This is a play that Penn State ran last week with Saquon Barkley. Interesting that we just had that hit from Ashley talking about that. CU stole a play out of the Penn State playbook. Really effective play last week for Penn State, and that time effective for the Buffs as well.
Now tempo being run by Colorado, and Lindsay gets enough of the first down. He signals over. He's coming off on the first down. Bo Bisharat will replace him. We're winding down in the third quarter, and Lindsay now has 22 carries for 97 yards. Good job by Montez on one, and then dumps it to Bisharat, and they get some yardage. Boy, that's well done by Montez. Turned a loss into almost a 6-yard gain.
I think every coach on the Buffs sideline is holding their breath when those kind of things happen, because those plays have the potential to be good, and sometimes they're pretty bad as well. Good job by Montez extending the play, but then once he gets away from the Bears defender, puts the ball up into a throwing position, gets a nice ball to Bisharat to pick up some pretty good yards on first down.
And here's this play you were talking about earlier today, Chad. Cal was there making sure they got fresh defensive linemen in the game. That's what you see Colorado trying to up the tempo here. And Bo Bisharat drives that all the way to the Cal 35 for a first down.
The Buffs, since your defense getting a little tired or you're trying to sub guys in and out, they tend to go tempo. They go tempo that time, and then Bisharat does a great job after picking up a couple of blocks to get him past the line of scrimmage. After that, just a nice physical job running the ball by Bisharat.
All right, Lindsay returns. And that time he got wrapped up. Luke Beckett with a good play, and they do get Lindsay for a loss of 1 down to the sideline. Cindy.
Behind the Colorado sidelines, guys, everybody is talking about speed, speed, tempo, tempo. Look at the hands on hips. They're tired. Get him, get him.
Yeah. Good catch there, Cindy. And Cal's taking advantage. Every chance they can. They just did it again. They're running a fresh defensive lineman back in. Montez comes to the middle. Jay McIntyre They've used him today. That's the 4th catch for McIntyre, and will leave Colorado a short third.
When you have depth issues up front, as the Bears do on defense, it's just really smart to go with tempo there. Ooh.
Quite targetable, the big old flip and slam.
Yeah, I didn't know they had Cowboys up in the Berkeley area.
See, and every time Colorado shifts personnel, that's what Cal's doing on this drive. They're bringing in back now 2 fresh defensive linemen. 3rd down and 2. All kinds of disguising, and Montez will run for it. And all kinds of motions there to try to disrupt or distract. Montez kept it for the 1st down.
They got the left contained guy for the Bears defense to bite on the run action. You see him fly past Montez there, but then Montez has an option to go down the field with the football. Both those guys are covered up. Great job by the Bears secondary, but no contain to that pocket. Montez does a smart thing, runs that ball, picks up the 1st down.
All right, 3rd quarter ends with Colorado on the move, up 13. Homecoming Saturday in Boulder, 3 quarters down. Happiness for the CU fans. Can Colorado finish? They have a 1st down at the Cal 24. And Philip Lindsay with that carry gets over 100 yards today. His 24th try.
Another tempo snap by the Buffs. No huddle, lining back up quickly.
Pressure coming middle. Montez, can he escape? Yes, he does! And finally dropped by Hawkins. Montez got back and got past the original line.
Not quite Michael Vick, maybe a little bit more Fran Tarkenton-esque there by Montez. A great job getting them back to where they were before the delay of game penalty.
Jalen Hawkins eventually on the tackle, so 3rd down and 9 now for CU. And Montez has McIntyre. Touchdown. Second touchdown of the year for Jay McIntyre.
The coaches talked about this was a tough early part of the week for Montez with the benching last week. This time sees McIntyre coming across the field in that crossing route. Outruns the Cal defender, gets himself open, gets some separation. Well-delivered ball by football. They talk about Montez, his response to that second half benching. They were really encouraged as the week went along with his mental toughness and his savvy.
All right, the point kicked. And so Colorado gets the touchdown that they so much wanted to open up a 3-score edge. Well, right now, joy for the Buffs. And a lot of joy for Steven Montez. You just outlined it very nicely, Chad, before the timeout. We talked to both offensive coordinators here yesterday about that fact. And you pry, you ask a little bit. Eventually, Brian Lindgren, who was a quarterback himself, said, yeah, Montez was down early in the week. We had to talk to him. And as the week went along, it got better. The first time you get pulled, anytime, I assume yours, right? The first time you get pulled after you're the guy, it jolts you a bit.
And it should, but the response, I think, speaks about who you are as a football player. That's the most important part, is how you respond.
Now we go with Bowers hitting BC. So that's an 8-yard gain on 1st down. But that has been the story for Cal's pass game today. It's been the short to intermediate variety. Laird. It's one of the few times today he's been able to get out. He's had a few on the swing passes, but not as much on the run game. Laird does get a good gain there, and a Cal first.
The Buffs have done a good job setting the edge of their defense in the run game and not allowing Laird to get outside. That time didn't get it done. For Bowers, I think only 58 yards here passing in the second half. Again, not the lack of speed on the outside. Don't constantly pressure a defense and throw it deep. Again, the windows for shorter passes really start to close.
Boy, good protection. He's got VC there. So there's the biggest hit of the day for Cal. And that was really nice protection that gave Bowers all the time.
And that wasn't just a pure speed route by VC. He had to throw a move. We'll see him kind of bring it in and then bring it back out on this replay. That's how he gets that separation, not just the speed. They're missing the speed at the receiver position, but he runs a great route, VC does. Gets himself open. Well-delivered ball by Bowers as well.
Think about this. That's 51 yards. The longest reception this year for VC had been 19.
Yes, I think that speaks to exactly what we've talked about all game long. The deep ball threat is really missing from this offense.
All right, well, Cal cannot think field goals here. That red zone efficiency needs to equate to 6 points. Inside Wharton, nice design. Wharton to the end zone, and Cal scores. How about that little play? Vic Wharton didn't have a hand put on him.
Creative play calling in the red zone. We've seen this a few times in the last couple games. By Cal at Statue of Liberty last week, the reverse pass earlier this ball game, this time with that receiver screen, but coming inside between the offensive linemen. For a team that's last in the Pac-12 in red zone scoring, they've done a pretty good job being creative this game.
Yeah, that's exactly. So Vic Wharton threw one in the first half. He catches one in the second. And Matt Anderson is out for the point. So Cal, what they needed, we said urgency, they delivered. The first explosive play, real big explosive play, 51-yard pass to VC. And Cal ends up getting a quick score. And now we may get a little test of whether Colorado, after Philip Lindsay's had 27 carries already today, how many more does he have in him in this fourth quarter?
We talked about how durable he is in the open and a number of times during the game. I think 35 touches for him is not too many touches. I know he's got 27 rushes today. I'm not sure how many balls he's caught. I know he's approaching that 35 number, but I would expect him to be featured heavily on this drive as they try to eat up the clock here in this second half of the fourth quarter.
All right. And a little play action throw to tight end Chris Bounds gets Colorado a first.
Nice job with the play action to Lindsay. Obviously, the coaches from Cal said they're going to try to run the ball, eat up the clock. The Cal defenders bite on that play action, gets Chris Bounds some separation to pick up the first down.
Right now the direct snap to Lindsay. Look at that hole. Well, here's exactly what Colorado wanted. 2 plays, 2 first downs, and they're in Cal territory.
Lindsay just following his pulling blockers, cuts in between them. After that, he's into the secondary of the Golden Bears, picks up a first down. That's 2 plays, 2 first downs.
Rather than going tempo here, this is probably, Chad, where you want to run the play clock a bit for Colorado?
You absolutely do want to allow that play clock to go down as low as you possibly can. Now is not the time for the up-tempo attack we saw in the third quarter.
Look at Bounds blocking there as the tight end. Cal trying to rip it from Lindsay. So that Tony Macari come in with that classic defensive play. He just tried to rip the ball. And Lindsay runs it for 5 yards.
A lot of the success offensively for the Buffaloes is when they get a quick strike and then they start to go tempo the rest of the drive. Obviously, this is not the situation for that. We'll see if they're able to have that same level of success going with a much slower tempo style.
Another Lindsay carry. This is where you hope, if you're Colorado, you hope Lindsay has it in him, and you hope your offense has done enough to wear down the other defense.
Well, so far this drive,
quarter,
yeah, Ted, so far this drive, they've been able to get movement up front, and then Lindsay's doing a great job reading his blockers. We've seen offensive lineman pull that last snap. He followed Chris Bounds, who was pulling from that right wing position, followed him into the hole for a big gain as well.
30th carry for Lindsay, 142. And 31 gets another first down at the Cal 25.
This time Lindsay's following Big George Frazier. We talked about Malik McMorris, the big tight end fullback for the Cal Bears. Well, the Colorado Buffaloes have one as well. George Frazier plays that tight end fullback role, also does a little defensive line work, got a sack today. He follows George, picks up the first down. Lindsay does a great job using his blockers, but also in these situations when you need to grind out the clock, he's a guy with great ball security as well.
That's it. And that's the big point. That's what I referenced earlier. That play you can see, because right now Cal's going to tackle the ball as much as Lindsay.
And this is not Lindsay's first or second rodeo. He's been in these situations before, these grinded out situations. Recognizing just take what the defense gives you, and most importantly, have great ball security.
All right, coming out of a Cal timeout, Lindsay gets another carry. So he won't catch Bryce Love today, and of course Love did not play Thursday night. But Lindsay's going to narrow Love's rushing yardage lead in the conference. Lindsay's up over 1250 now for the year.
He doesn't, but he's one of the most effective football players in the Pac-12 and has been for the last several years.
Tez there sliding down. On third down, he got right back in the middle of the field, which centers the ball for a potential field goal try. And did Justin Wilcox, I think he just did take a timeout.
So when you project Philip Lindsay in the NFL, he's a guy who runs the ball, has speed to break away and outrun angles, can run with power, great ball security, and more than capable defender. Oh yeah, and he blocks very physically in the pass game.
I'll tell you what else he's shown today and a couple times what you have to do to play on Sunday. He has to stand in there and pass protect.
Yeah, he's not afraid to step up in there. So for a guy who's 5'8", 190, most of his game he plays much bigger than that. At the same time, he's able to use that 5'8" when he needs to hide behind blockers and pullers and then squirt through a hole. He does a good job. One of the reasons why he's been so durable is it's very difficult to get a clean, hard shot on him. He has a way of reducing that contact area, spinning, twisting, falling forward, avoiding the big hits.
So Cal has used its last timeout, trying to save as much time as possible. Stefano here with a 37-yarder. And that kick is good. Now it does keep the game, though, within 2-touchdown range.
It's
16 points.
From a Colorado perspective, sure you'd love to have a touchdown, but at least you ate up some time on the clock. You ran the ball, you further wore out that Cal Bears defense. Next opportunity, next drive for Colorado, I expect them again to go back to the ground, and that defense is not going to be fresher. They're only going to be more tired.
Well, Colorado hoping they can hold on these last 5:22, make sure they get their second conference win, 5th total win. Ashton Davis from the 4-yard line. Oh, nice lane. Good kick run back, and well, Cal would like to see if they can duplicate that last drive. Quick strike down the field. And Bauer taking a shot down the field. Went for Duncan there against Worthington.
Duncan stopped running full speed towards the end of his round. If he would have just kept running and assumed that Bowers was going to go to them, he would have had a chance to catch up to that football. A little bit overthrown, but only because he slowed down and stopped his route.
And one thing that we've done today, we've seen a dichotomy. We referenced at the top today, two guys that can really pound the ball. Well, Cal's been playing from behind much. Laird has not been able to do that in the run game. And there's a sliding catch, going to be short of a first down by Jeremiah Hawkins. Cindy?
Philip Lindsay has had a fantastic day at the office, fellas, and he does not want his day to end. He got a little dinged up on that last Colorado drive. Had a bloody nose, so told the trainer to stuff his nose with cotton, and he also had a little issue with his biceps, and they taped that up too. He wants to get back in there, fellas.
Man, a cold bath must be really good for him Saturday night. The way he plays, as much as he gets used. Third down here. And Noah holds on. That's a terrific catch, and that's why he has really emerged this year. Kanawai Noah.
You can see the connection between Bowers and Noah. You've seen it all game long. He's clearly that's the guy he was looking to, particularly in those critical third down situations. Noah, you've seen it several times. They elevate, go up and get that football where, you know, Bowers throws it where only his guy can get it. Another great connection between those two.
Sixth catch by Noah today. And Bowers got rid of it. Made sure he fired it high and out of bounds. So Bowers avoids a loss. But one thing about Cal's receivers, and Noah, talked to him about this, you know, they've had not just Jared Goff and Davis Webb the last couple years, they've had a lot of receivers that have gone to the NFL. And Noah sat and watched a lot of them. And he talked about Chad Hansen, who was such a standout last year, now with the New York Jets. And that Noah has said, I've gained from being around so many guys that had that kind of pro talent.
Oh, absolutely. If you share a position room with those guys, you can't help it. Pick up the little tips and make them good.
And did Wharton catch that? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He got a foot in at the Colorado 28. Nice catch by Vic Wharton.
How about Bowers responding here with this drive? Kind of the theme of the fourth quarter is how you respond. They're down. Hasn't been a great game for him passing the football. We're responding well right now when his team needs him. Trying to go down and get some more points.
25 yards on that throw. Here's Laird. Look at the big bodies out there to block for him. A good job racing it through that by Laguda, pushing Laird out of bounds. But Cal is fighting and kicking, and this is very much what Cal did on its own field last Saturday against Arizona. Ended up tying the game on a 52-yard field goal and going to a second overtime. On the sideline, Singleton with a catch. That'll be a Cal first down at the 11.
Great job by Cal, knowing they were in shot territory, so they knew CU was going to be defending more of the end zone area. Opened up that intermediate route right there. They talked about taking what the defense gives them and getting Bowers to understand that, not force the football. That time he did exactly that. Defense played deep through the intermediate route, picked up the first down.
Well, they throw a fade, and there's only one receiver there. And Fisher may run this all the way. Nick Fisher stunned everybody by bringing it out of the end zone, and it ends up being the longest pick six of your life.
Bowers' worst football of the day. I was just praising him, taking what the defense gives him. When we did the conference call with the coaches on Wednesday, they said down in the red zone, that's where we have the most concern with him, trying to make a play. That time, not on the same page as the receiver throws the ball directly to Nick Fisher. Receiver cuts in, Bowers throws it out. And after that, Nick Fisher, which I would say not smartly, takes out the end zone, but ends up picking up a touchdown anyway.
That is the ultimate of a no, no, no.
Yes.
And I think Coach McIntyre was emphasizing the no-nos just there on the sideline. I got to believe that Fisher, he sure caught me by surprise. I had no thought he'd ever bring this out. And I think he caught Cal by surprise.
He picks up a couple of key blocks, which brings him about to the 30-yard line. But once he gets to the 30, it's just a foot race between he and Bowers. And that's not a race at all. He outruns Bowers easily for the touchdown.
It is the fourth 100-yard plus, depending on whatever you say, interception return in CU football history.
Laguda gets a block right there. Wigley picks up a block on the sideline. So we'll see Laguda tell him, let's go, let's go, let's go. Laguda gives him a block. Wigley gives him a block, picks up a block. I think that's from Gamboa. And after that, there's not a Cal Bear who's going to run down Nick Fisher in the open field.
And the NCAA treats the end zone all as one, so it's 100 yards. Nobody tries to guess, even though that was probably 108 or so by the time he reversed his field. But statistically, that goes down as 100. And the first interception of the day, thrown by either man. And it breaks the back of the California Golden Bears.
I don't want to put that on Bowers because I don't know who was supposed to go where that ball was supposed to go. But again, the coaches talked about him forcing the ball in the red zone. Just live to fight another snap and take what the defense gives you. There was going to be opportunity to score if that drive continued. The Buffs were definitely playing a softer style of defense. Not the same page with his receiver. Ends up being a back-breaking touchdown interception returned by the Buffaloes.
So they're on that far right after compiling a lot of yardage in the last quarter. Ross Bowers with that first pick. And of course, what I'm sure animated Mike McIntyre even more was that Cal had already used his timeout. So Fisher just downs the ball. Colorado come out. They couldn't have run the whole clock out, but most of it just in the victory formation. So it's one of those, game awareness, game situations, and then there's instinct.
Yes. And as a coach, you're always fighting players' instincts. When it's a jump ball situation, every coach tells you to knock it down. I've never seen a player turn down an interception yet.
Nice throw there by Bowers to Vesey across midfield. That's the way to say it, exactly that. You're a defensive player, and the ball's thrown to you, you're going to catch it? What am I going to say, no?
Right.
Well, of course he says no, he can catch the ball. But
and you're passing your 7-year-old in the hallway, you're tossing the ball. People's instinct is to catch the football.
Right.
Sometimes you're coaching against instinct, particularly in those odd situations like that where the best play, the smart play is to do the thing that's not the most instinctual play.
Right, that play was to down the ball. All right, Vic and Waring catching a throw there as we're down to the final 2 minutes. And it looks certain here that Colorado is going to get that 5th win. Montez is going for 347 today. That's the second highest yardage game of his career. At 357 against Northern Colorado here. And Bowers, frequency for him. He's thrown 49 passes. That's 325 yards. Murray runs it down inside the 35. Don't forget, coming up here on Pac-12 Network, we're going up to Oregon. Utah and Oregon and Eugene will follow. That'll be at 45 past the hour. Noah wide open over the middle, and he is down inside the 10. So this is a stat-friendly 4th quarter for Cal. And again, the frustration is that interception and length of field return has rendered a lot of this to be empty. Boy, did he make another nice catch for a touchdown. Wow, and that's a beautiful throw. Man, that's big time on both ends.
Well, we were talking about the future for Bowers a couple of breaks ago. And, I think we were a little on the fence, but we've seen some throws here in the 4th quarter that are all Pac-12 type of throws.
The receiver did not have possession of the pass, then stepped out of bounds. It's 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line.
I did 2 of Eastern Washington's playoff games last season. And yes, their pass attack was dynamic. It was a little complicated, so I can imagine wanting to get up to speed with that. And Cooper Kupp was literally the best receiver I've ever seen at that level of football. There's a reason why he's had the success that he has with the Los Angeles Rams. A very, very polished football player, even back in college last year.
All right, well, here comes Cal back to work. And Bowers does a nice ball, and that one is going to be a touchdown, we think. We'll hold up. A signal for the moment to Vesey. Well, I tell you, it's jarring, isn't it, Chad? A one throw can change everything. Other than Bowers has had a heck of a 4th quarter here.
He really has outside that one play. And last week he played well despite the 2 interceptions. This was a great route by Vesey. Runs off Trey Udofia, comes back with a football, gives Bauer a spot to throw that ball nice and low, only where he can get it.
That was a really good throw. And that's, again, going to the left for a right-handed thrower. Well done by Bowers. Matt Anderson out for the point. Matt Anderson, unlikely today to become the all-time leading scorer in Cal history. He's now within 4 points of Doug Bryan. All right, that one out of bounds. And they're going to call a foul there for batting the ball. It's not a smart play by Colorado. So now Montez will take a knee, and he'll have to do it one more time. Well, no, he won't. And they'll start the play clock in time. And so Colorado will get its 5th win. They will win on homecoming day. Emotions early for longtime CU fans with the retirement of the jersey of Rashaan Salam and his family being here. And a rebound by Mike McIntyre and his team.
I mean, for the Buffs fans, there's nothing better than winning the homecoming game. That's why you usually don't schedule your toughest opponent. But for the Colorado Buffaloes football team, I think better than winning a homecoming is responding to what happened to them last week and stepping up big time this week.
All right, so one last one. So that's a milestone, a historic milestone for Colorado football. For Mike McIntyre, today's milestone is good. 5 wins. He needs one more to get Colorado to bowl eligibility. For California, coming off a heartbreaking loss at home last week. Tough one today for the defense. A lot of big plays allowed by a defense that have been much better against that this year.
Yeah, giving them 42 points a game last year, only 28 going into this game. You'd have thought they would have played better, but really the issue for them was those big plays, those explosive plays by the Colorado Buffaloes offense, both passing and running the football. That was the difference in the ball game, and the fact that Montez was clean and smart with the football. Didn't have too many mistakes in the quarterback position for the Buffaloes.
Yep. Philip Lindsay runs for 161. Montez throws for 347 and 3 touchdowns. And our final score, Colorado 44, Cal 28. Thanks to our producer, Gregson Frampton, our director, Jason Moon, and our entire Pac-12 Network team. And now for Chad Brown, Cindy Brunson, and our entire crew, I am Ted Robinson. Thank you for joining us for Pac-12 football, presented by Red Robin.